So I'm watching this 30 Rock marathon on E this weekend. They've been doing all 7 seasons. It's been very, very nice. Finally, something to watch on E. And
how'd you stumble across that? Now let's see. You watched something on E willingly though?
Well, it was there in the programming guide. It says 30 Rock, and it kept going forward and going forward. It's like, oh, they're doing all 7 seasons this weekend, and yeah. And so far, I've not watched all of them because they've been going literally 24/7. But rarely a bad episode. Even the so-so episodes are still 1,000 times funnier than any given season of the Connors. But there was one thing where Liz Lemon is saying she just bought a scented candle for 80% off. Then she looks at the label like, summer horse grave?
Now here's the big $64,000 question here. Of all the episodes, has the controversial blackface one been shown yet?
Don't know. I don't. Probably not. But
no, the reason I'm asking,
I have not stayed up for 48 hours in a row watching these things. So they've been going on the whole time. So maybe they showed it at 3 a.m, 4. I don't know, but I'm going to guess not.
If this was like Peacock, obviously they've nixed it. But I'm thinking, is E owned by NBC Universal?
Yes, it is.
Comcast?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then it's probably been nixed. So
yeah,
never mind that.
But
it would just be great to watch it for posterity.
Yeah, so if you want to watch 30 Rock, which I would recommend revisiting it if you were unaware of this E-marathon weekend, I think 30 Rock, besides Peacock, I think you can also watch it on Amazon Prime Video.
Well, and that just proves to our listeners, all 12 of you, that content is shifting every now and again, and the only way you can keep up with it is yet another TV 10 podcast. I'm Tommy Milagro.
I'm Bill Frost. Welcome to episode 0346 of this thing, and we're sponsored, as always, by somebody. Who would it be this week?
Why, that would be our good friends at Ogden's Own Distillery, the Porter's.
What a coincidence!
Peanut butter whiskey.
I had to make a pilgrimage out to West Jordan today to pick up a box.
Oh, did you?
From the auxiliary TV Tan studios, and first of all, I just want to say, driving up and down Redwood Road, just the saddest little strip mall hell on earth, probably.
Well, are you saying the saddest strip mall hell ever, or the saddest strip mall hell currently?
Well, there may be sadder ones in the future, but it just reminded me of Tom Goes to the Mayor, the city of Jefferton. I kept waiting to drive by a Sauceman's at any minute.
Oh, that is a terrible thing.
Which, by the way, I did. I also marathoned all 2 seasons of Tom Goes to the Mayor over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Because it was either this or you had to Zoom call your relatives. So I know which choice was easier. Yeah,
my relatives, they don't know how Zoom works. Anyway, so yeah, this peanut butter whiskey, which is rated 66.6 proof by volume. Ha, good one.
Yep.
Very tasty.
What you did, Steve.
Very tasty. I posted that on the socials, and somebody pointed out, I think somebody from Slug pointed out that there's some recipes that you can mix this with on the Porter's Fire website. One involved, I believe, an apple liqueur.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
like their apple liqueur?
I think so, yeah. I can't remember exactly what the recipe was, but it was referenced an apple liqueur. And since Porter's Fire, they make one, why not? I'm sure it's theirs.
Well, and thank goodness in the auxiliary emergency hatch, you still have I think some of the old Porter's apples. So
yes,
it's all your.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to.
And yeah, guess what? The holidays are around the corner, kid.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that recipe. Yeah, and okay. So brought to you by Ogden's Own Porter's Fire, and in the TVs this week, I'm very excited about this. This is premiering on Thursday on HBO Max, And I hope Melissa Merlot is listening. Probably not, but this would be right up her alley. A docu-series, Heaven's Gate, The Cult of Cults.
Oh, we got to put her on high alert for this. You know that.
Cult alert. Yeah, this is the cult started in 1975, ended in 1997 with the largest mass suicide on U.S. soil. And it all pretty much unfolded on the then very young internet. I remember I was online in 1997. I think I got online around 1994 or so. And around 1997, I was following this on whatever shitty dial-up internet I had at the time. And the Heaven's Gate website, the whole website, I think it's still up to. I think somebody is still maintaining it.
And let's just be clear, ladies and gentlemen, this is an alert about cults, the kind that, are way too Jesus-y for your own good, not an alert about the cult and she sells sanctuary. Let's just get that out of the way.
That cult is totally fine.
Yeah.
As is
the other cults. Yeah.
As is Blue Oyster Cult. Both of those cults are fine. But yeah. And we should mention that not a lot. I do love me a good cult docu-series here. After 2 different NXIVM documentary series, and you'll notice that none of these cults put up signs in the front yard proclaiming their leader. So if you're in a cult that does that, maybe you've gone too far.
Or maybe they got mask mandates these days, so. Maybe they're self-conscious.
We should point out that
the
Heaven's Gate cult did have a uniform. It wasn't a red hat, but it was like black robes and it was like purple robes and black Nikes, I think.
Yep, that's what it was. Nike Cortezes, by the way.
Oh, the Cortez. Love the Cortez.
Respect for the OG.
Love me a good Cortez. And also premiering this week on Friday. Remember the Hardy Boys from way back in the day?
With the feathered hair.
Sean Cassidy, Parker Stevenson, they were the Hardy Boys, even though they already looked like they were in their 30s.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a new Hardy Boys series. This one debuting on Hulu on Friday. They're younger. Frank and Joe are 16 and 12. And, and they're trying to unravel a mystery that their detective dad is into.
So, was this series not considered hardcore enough for the CW and Riverdale crowd? And
it looks like it could be a little on the spooky side here, little more on the scary side, not so comedic.
Well, and again, I mean, Nancy Drew was on the CW for a minute there.
For exactly a minute. I think you just answered your own question there. Mm-hmm. Also premiering on Friday. Rosita from The Walking Dead is Selena.
Let's clear this up. Not Selena Gomez. Talking original. We're talking Selena original flavor.
Yeah, we're not due for a Selena Gomez docu-series yet, but I don't know. But this is actually a docudrama. Christian Serratos portrays the rise and eventual death of Selena in a new series for Netflix, and I can't imagine this will go for more than one season because we know how it ends.
Well, and more importantly, Selena teaches us the importance of never meeting your fan president.
Yeah.
So, thank God TV10 Podcast does not have that problem. We just have our Chola Furiosa Lachai girl as our producer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sure we don't have any fans who are rabid enough to try and kill us.
And more importantly,
we have a hard enough time just getting them to listen to us. They're certainly not going to go the extra step and try and kill us.
And Lachai Girl has not embezzled the funds because, let's face it, we drink up the profits.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, also premiering on Friday on Netflix, Season 4 of Big Mouth with Nick Kroll and Andrew Goldberg and John Mulaney, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cartoon. Okay. It's funny as hell. Also has a lot of great voice casting. I think Jenny Slate quit. I don't think she's on there anymore.
Or is she quarantining herself?
No, she voiced a little black girl a black character, and she's joined the movement of like, I'm white, I'm not going to voice a black character, which is pretty commendable to step away from a successful show like that.
Okay. But is it going to have like one of those weird sounding people that, it's like that joke from Family Guy. You know what happened when Jim Henson didn't take care of himself? We got weird sounding Muppets.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to take over that character. Coming up on Saturday Night Live, Jason Bateman hosting. I don't recall if he's ever hosted before.
So we went from the Ozarks to Saturday Night Live, and what was the show he was doing on HBO? I want to say it was like The Outsider or something like that.
Yeah,
okay,
the Stephen King thing. Yeah,
yeah.
So but he was only on it briefly. Not to put any spoilers out there, but he was not on it for long. Also, a musical guest. Here's to test your memory here. Morgan Wallen, who got kicked off the show a few months ago because he was supposed to make his debut, and he was out, partying in the COVID times, and they said nope, and so now they're giving him another chance.
Okay, I'm gonna lay odds right now. He's gonna fuck up again with some COVID party, some super spreader event,
and we're gonna get Jack Black again.
Mostly, I'm just saying, if somebody wants to sabotage it for him so we can get Jack White again, I'm down with it.
Yeah, I said Jack Black. Yet. I said Jack Black.
Yes, you did. That means the genius juice is now working for...
But if we could get Jack Black and Jack White together, do their Jack Gray thing, that'd be something.
Oh, I don't think the universe is ready for that. That's like crossing the streams, man. You know that.
Yeah. Coming up on Sunday, we have a special Christmas-adjacent episode of Euphoria dropping with Zendaya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How much coke and blow is going to be involved?
Pretty much all of it. But yeah, they've been working on season 2 of Euphoria. They've only completed a couple of episodes, and they've decided to drop a couple of them early ahead of season 2. This is the first one. I think another one will be coming maybe later in December or maybe early January. But yeah, this is a Christmas related episode. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not for the parents.
Yeah, and obviously this is not for the Hallmark crowd. Let's just get that out.
No, not at all.
No.
Also premiering on Sunday on Showtime, season 11, the final season of Shameless.
Okay, first of all, I meant to ask you about this when we were in the breakout session, but since you brought it up, are you going to be okay? Are you going to be okay, Mr. Frost?
This is one of my favorite shows of all time. So I am kind of sad to see it ending, but I do believe this is going to be a supersized season with more episodes than usual. So at least there's that going on, and there's always the possibility that Emmy Rossum could return.
Don't tease, man.
Just to say goodbye, because what else has Emmy Rossum got to do right now?
I'm just saying, don't tease us like that. That's cruel and unusual. You don't want to do that during COVID times. Maybe afterwards it's fine, but don't tease us like that. Don't tease us, Emmys, Rossums.
Yeah. So the whole gang's back, minus Emmy Rossum, of course, and yeah, we'll see what happens with Frank.
Oh man,
he's had so many brushes with death. Maybe they'll finally do it this season and say, okay, we're finally going to kill Frank.
Well, or better yet, maybe they should just let Shameless go one more season, if only just so he has enough funds for when his wife gets out of jail in real life. I'm just saying, think of the act.
That is true, yes. And also premiering right after it on Showtime, Bryan Cranston has a new thing.
Okay, you have my attention.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's Bryan Cranston, more importantly, Malcolm in the Middle's Bryan Cranston, if you will, stars as a New Orleans judge whose son runs afoul of the local organized crime family, and shit goes down. What's he got to do to keep his son from getting killed by the mob?
And it kind of sounds like he's going to make some very morally ambiguous judgments, so to speak. Why does this sound so familiar? Why does this plot sound so close and so uninteresting unless some of this is directed by Vince Gill. Is Vince Gill involved? Is the next question.
This is from the producers of The Good Wife and HBO's The Night Of. And also, here's the rest of the cast. Also, Maura Tierney, Blair Underwood, Hope Davis, and of course, Margot Martindale.
Okay, and it's going to be on
Showtime. Channel?
Okay, you know what? I'm going to hold back. I'm going to hold back my judgment right now. I will say, in the words of the late, great Jimmy Martin, show us what you got.
Yep.
Just show us what you got.
And did you know that Netflix hold on Daredevil is expired as of right now as we're speaking, so that means Marvel Studios could take Daredevil back and do something with it.
Well, here's the problem with that, because Marvel is now in the mouse house, and God forbid if you say something real racy or very controversial, or even utter the phrase, "when I was a little boy." I mean, I want to hold hope that they're going to do something and keep the dark themes that were in Daredevil. But if 3 seasons of Daredevil on Netflix is all we get, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I am totally fine.
Could maybe end up on Hulu.
Well, actually, come to think of it, doesn't Disney have a stake in Hulu as well?
Oh yeah, big one, yeah.
So, well, here's the next question. What about the others in the Defenders universe? Your Iron Fist, your Cage, and Jessica Jones?
I don't know. This article just mentions Daredevil. Those started later, so they might still be might be a while before they're free of the Netflix grip.
So what they could possibly do is, at the very least, just show at least a couple of seasons of Daredevil, and then with each contract that expires, get everybody loaded up on the next show.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, then they could start filming some new stuff, and could possibly be interesting there.
Yeah.
So, Or, here's another thought. You could phase 4 them somewhere into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, shit. They're going to say WandaVision's coming out sometime. Is it this year, or is it going to be early next year?
Early next year.
Okay. So there's a reason to stick with the Disney Plus, kids. So
and here's another cancellation. Utopia over on Amazon Prime Video with Rainn Wilson.
Were we really that surprised about that?
It was a sort of a sci-fi fantasy drama about a global pandemic. So maybe the timing wasn't right.
Right, because, and we've said this before here at TV10 Podcast, because Rainn Wilson and John Cusack were tied to it. I said it before and I said it again. You know, if you focused your efforts on High Fidelity and gave it a second season...
Yeah, maybe. But did we mention that even though Hulu did fuck up by canceling High Fidelity, I think we forgot to mention a couple weeks ago that Woke has been picked up for a second season. Keith Knight's thing.
No,
did we talk about that?
We didn't. However, I did see it last week. He posted it, and that makes me more happy that they didn't fuck up on Woke. I mean, how can you at this point?
But yeah, also I'm gonna give you an advance warning on a movie that is it's been released overseas, but it is not been released here in the United States. Even though I did manage to get my hands on an advance copy of it. This is a movie that is going to be coming to Hulu, I believe, in January, and it's pretty fucking fantastic. It's called Boss Level. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's about stars Frank Grillo from the Marvel Universe and also the Kingdom UFC series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a retired Special Forces soldier. Of course, they always are. Who gets caught in a time loop and every day relieves his death, and he has to figure it out. And we've heard this story before. This is kind of like Happy Death Day meets Crank, but it's like, but it's really fucking well done. Also starring Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, Michelle Yeoh, Will Sasso, Ken Jeong, whole bunch of people. And it's pretty fucking fantastic. And it was going to be a theatrical release, but then Hulu bought it and will release it, I believe, in January. So we'll remind everybody about that again. But this is definitely one to watch for. It's pretty fucking fantastic.
Is this part of Bill's movie corner, by the way?
Well, it could be, yeah. It could very well be. I also in my movie corner, I will urge you to check out. What is the exact title here? It's an odd title. It's called Cream, America's Only Rock and Roll Magazine. It's a documentary about the infamous rock magazine that started in the 60s and eventually died in the 80s. But yeah.
Okay. And it had before you go on, this is the magazine that showcased editor Lester Bangs.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
Now let's keep this in mind, folks. You may have heard Lester Bangs, if only from the movie Almost Famous, when
or the REM song, "The End of the World."
What? Serious? Lester Bangs was featured in there, or were you talking about Cream?
Lenny Bruce and Lester Bangs.
Okay, I'm gonna need to look at the lyrics after we're done here and
come
break
on.
I'm not disputing you. I don't remember it. But then again, that's a blur of words right there.
Yeah, Cream magazine was a very fucking irreverent magazine that not only reviewed rock stars, but generally pissed on rock stars. And still, everybody wanted to party at Cream magazine, and everybody wanted to be in the Boy Howdy beer profiles, which I learned from this documentary that Boy Howdy was never an actual beer. It was just a sticker label that they would stick on another can of beer and hand it to some rock stars. I hear pose with this.
Well, and I would also go so far as to say that because I've only heard about Cream and I've only heard about the legend of Lester Bangs, and Philip Seymour Hoffman in his hopped up heroin days couldn't even touch.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Lester Bangs partied hard. They all did. I was in part of the readership of the final years of Cream magazine, and I went back and found a lot of back issues. Actually, I still have some here lying around the studio somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, and it kind of informed my eventual writing style a bit.
Well, and I kind of got hooked on Lester Bangs one day, and I got a book of his collected articles titled Psychotic Reactions and Carburetor Dung, which is actually one of the titles of his articles, where he is, I won't say he's reviewing one of the bands. What was it? I want to say it was like the Young Birds, but he goes meandering on a different tale, but still comes back to the Yardbirds. That's what I meant.
Yardbirds.
But yeah, it is a trip, and I gotta say, you gotta have the right amount of alcohol in order to truly appreciate the writing of Lester Bangs. But pair it with Cream, if you will, sometime this week.
Yes, and it was kind of like almost like a pro wrestling atmosphere, and if that's not a segue, I don't know what is.
Well, I think that's a beautiful segue where you hit the music, sir.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team!
From the sports desk of the TV Tan podcast, we deliver to you only the important sport of professional wrestling. Oh, so many things to talk about here. Going to be kind of a quiet week since everybody's coming back from Survivor Series and from also from the Thanksgiving weekend. What I can tell you, again, if you go to the news and rumors section of our of the fine website slamwrestling.net, where I, your lucid luchador, your MBA, by the way, that's a triple shot effect, folks, for those of you that are tuning in.
Drink.
Some things to note about. Braun Strowman was recently suspended by the WWE because it turns out he has an actual real-life knee injury. Not sure about what the scope of his knee injury is. We just wish him a speedy recovery. Also, again, only because this is a website based in Canada, Toronto Rogers Communication is looking to demolish the Rogers Centre / Skydome and build a new stadium. The Toronto Skydome, as you recall, has been a host of a number of WWE events, including WrestleMania 6. Aww. And also some other things to talk about here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson appeared in balloon form during Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, and the balloon was based off of his famous 1990 Toronto Sun fanny pack picture. You've seen this before, where he kind of had a little mop of hair, the gold chain around a turtleneck, and, of course, the fanny pack. And this was to promote his upcoming Young Rock TV show. Have you been getting any advance words about that?
I have not seen that, no.
Okay. Well, let's see. And also, let's see, Total Bellas. Yeah, let's move on from that. The less we talk about it, the better, I think, at this point. Also, let's see here. This is a big one that came out. Let me back up here. Are you familiar with the channel G4 from back in the day?
Yes.
What was it about, to enlighten our viewers?
It was all about gaming.
Okay. And
that's where Olivia Munn got her start, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And as part of the revival of the G4 gaming channel, it has been announced that Xavier Woods will be one of their new hosts. Quote, "We could not be happier to welcome Xavier to the family and introduce the first member of G4's new cast," at Kevin Sabi, head of content for G4.
Sure.
Quote, "The list of on-air talent with advanced degrees in psychology, unbridled passion for video games, and multiple WWE Tag Team Championships is not long. We love Xavier's creative hash brown Creed 4 G4 campaign and cannot wait to showcase his many talents throughout G4's developing slate of programming. Xavier stands as a fantastic first representative of an exciting and diverse team that we are assembling for G4 and will be introducing in the coming weeks and months." And then the last three stories I'm just going to do here. This is not on slamwrestling.net yet, but according to ringsidenews.com, Alberto Del Rio's ex-girlfriend apologizes for damage she caused by her mistakes because, as you know, Alberto Del Rio is facing charges of second-degree sexual assault and aggravated kidnapping, but it might be thrown out because his ex-girlfriend apologized, and some are thinking she could retract her story. But here's where it gets interesting. She apologized to the family of Alberto Del Rio, not to Del Rio himself. And it's interesting because Alberto Del Rio and WWE superstar Paige had a relationship, which on the scale of 1 to Amy Winehouse was still a little bit better.
Okay.
Because Paige came out good the other side. But she revealed physical abuse from Alberto during their relationship. So it's also noted that some of the testimony is kind of similar to Paige's, so that could be where it's coming from. More on that as that story develops. Now, going to Red Badge of Courage Wrestling, that's Ring of Honor, by the way. One of the stars of yesteryear with Ring of Honor was a guy by the name of Jimmy Rave. However, he announced that he is going to be retiring after 21 plus years because, according to WrestlingNews.co, he is retiring from pro wrestling after an infection forced him to have his arm amputated. And he even goes on to say, quote, "This past Tuesday, my world came crashing down when doctors found an infection in my left arm. I tried toughing it out, but by the time I saw a doctor, it was too late, and they had to amputate my left arm above the elbow, thus effectively ending my in-ring career. Which mostly the sports desk is here to say, Andrew Yang, about maybe getting a labor union and maybe some health care for some of these fine workers. You may want to speed that up a little bit sooner here. Just a suggestion. And finally, this from the actual news of TMZ. But here's where it's going to segue in, so stick with me.
All right.
Mike Tyson fought with Roy Jones Jr. over yesterday, the 28th, to a draw. It was an exhibition performance. And the only reason I'm bringing up Mike Tyson is because, number one, he was able to go toe-to-toe with Roy Jones Jr. and both guys. If you haven't seen pictures of them recently, dude, they are scary jacked. That is how crazy just jacked up they were at 50-plus years of age. And according to TMZ, the fight was technically an exhibition, which means it wasn't sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission and won't count on their professional records. But it was scored for fun by 3 judges from the World Boxing Council, who ultimately saw it as an even fight. And it also bears to mind that now on the heels of this, Mike Tyson still has a little bit of beef going with Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and the Inner Circle.
What?
Yeah, this was a while ago, before, the world went to hell with COVID. So, just saying, could be something that comes up on AEW down the road. I think that's something to check out. But finally this, because I know I got a lot of good fans, still covering for the United Wrestling Network, you should still check out Primetime Live on Fight TV, which you can subscribe for each episode for only $7.99.
Not a sponsor.
Or you could get the bundle of episodes for $24.99.
Not a sponsor.
And you should definitely check it out because of the 2 announced matches that's going to be happening this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You're going to see 2 good matches. It's going to be the United Television title holder, Levi Shapiro, and he's going up against Austin Idol for the television title matchup. And most importantly, you're also going to see the King of the Concrete Jungle, Slice Boogie, going up against Davey Boy Smith Jr. And also, it should be noted, as of this recording, there have been no announcements made as to what is going to happen with the UWN World Title Final between the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson, and Mike Bennett. It is still up in the air. Hopefully, we will hear more about it tomorrow. Only reason being, Dickinson injured his neck during his semifinal match with Mr. No Days Off Fred Rosser, and it's still being evaluated. Hopefully we will have a decision by the time Tuesday drops. But just subscribe to the shows, catch up on what you're missing, and come in for the recaps because, honestly, that's just as entertaining because I get to live out the dream and report on sports.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team.
All right. So here's hoping we'll still keep going on with the dream. Oh, one other thing. Breaking news here. Breaking news to the sports desk.
Ooh.
NWA is going to be returning back to YouTube with their show Shockwave. So that's going to be on at 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Mountain Time. Definitely catch that. I will see if I have to cover that beat here pretty soon. More on that as it develops from the Sports Desk breaking news section and for SlamWrestling.net. I'm the Lucid Luchador, MBA, Tommy Milagro.
That was still sports with Tommy Milagro. Go, team.
And somebody is going to get so drunk right now.
Yay.
Not me. Maybe you. How is
Could be
peanut
me.
butter whiskey?
I'm just sipping away on this.
Was it because of all the times I mentioned the NBA with the Sports Desk?
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done my job then.
All right, let's get out of here and tell the people what they should be watching harder in the coming week. What would you recommend?
Well, this is what's happened. First of all, you do need to watch The Mandalorian, if only for the recent episode with Ahsoka Tano, played by Rosario Dawson. And this is what happened with me, because I guess Ahsoka Tano is an important figure in Star Wars lore, like the Clone Wars and Rebels. I went to Disney and have gone down the Clone Wars rabbit hole, and have been binge watching all those episodes. I'm up to the end of season 2 as we speak, just to see how the Mandalorians, which I found out Pre Vizsla in Clone Wars, voiced by Jon Favreau, who created, wait for it, The Mandalorian.
Right.
So
okay.
I would say Mandalorian, Clone Wars, and when you have time for it, Rebels, Star Wars Rebels on Disney Plus, because it's a good, cheap way to catch up for only $6.99
Not a sponsor.
Month. Oh, well.
I'm going to recommend, as I did last week, and I'm going to heartily recommend it one more time, if not several more times after this, The Flight Attendant on HBO Max. Kaylee Kwaka. She's really, really fucking good in this. It's kind of a comedic thriller. It kind of covers all the bases, and it's really good. And I would definitely recommend that.
Is that just only on HBO Max?
Only on HBO Max. They dropped the first 3 episodes last Thursday. They'll be dropping 2 more this coming Thursday. And I heartily recommend it.
All right.
That and go watch 30 Rock on, watch it on Prime Video, because then you won't have to put up with the commercials.
Oh, God. Why would you do that nonsense?
I mean, if you watch it
then again,
if you watch it on Peacock, if you're one of those people who's paying for Peacock, I don't know who you might be, but you can watch it without commercials there as well. But if you got the freebie Peacock, then you're gonna have to sit through some ads. Sorry.
I actually have one other show I will recommend.
Okay, sure.
That would be if you've got Crackle. Heroes of Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
It's a good show. It's basically Lucha Underground, except not as scripted. But this must have took place a couple of years ago or so, when you could have crowds.
Yeah.
And they try to make it like a big scoring event with the different islands, like Absentium and Serpentium and all this and that.
Okay.
Because it's got more of a Mexico event, but they try to present it like a comic book. One of the stars on there is a man by the name of Sam Adonis. You've seen and heard of him on NPR. And, by the way, here's another thing you should be watching harder, folks. Devotional Championship Wrestling, where it is filmed locally in Utah at the Gateway, but you also get to see Sam Adonis make appearance on a couple of shows.
All right.
So, those are my hearty sporting recommends right there.
Okay.
And any others that you got there, sir?
That's good enough. We want to thank Ogden's Own Distillery, specifically the Porter's Whiskey, specifically even more the peanut butter flavored whiskey. Mm-hmm. Very tasty, and I'm going to check out those recipes, because it sounds it's pretty tasty on its own, but I would imagine pairing it with a apple flavoring of some sort would be even better.
Try it with chocolate milk too.
Or that.
That's my recommendation.
Sure, why not? Yeah. And episode 0346 in the can. We're out of here. And, if you want to reach out to us anyway, TV10 Podcast at Twitter, Facebook, and Gmail. Do the thing. Rate us on whatever you listen to us on if you want. And, good night, America.
And thank you again for listening to us, especially our other sponsors, Sugar House Distillery, Outlaw Distillery, and, of course, Bohemian Brewery that still stacks up Mr. Frost's house with pallets of beer.
Yep.
And please visit Ivy at Booze Teak. But anywhere you go to, please wear a mask. It's just responsible. But for right now, we're going to say goodbye as we hit our breakout session in the Zoom chat. That's if you have the teddy bear nanny cams looking at us. So please, have fun. Have a great holidays. Jiggle the handle. It's time to flush.